Hi everybody, happy Saturday or Friday if you're not in Australia. Thank you for joining us again. I know we've had a lot of shows this week, so thank you for sticking with us. Hi Craig, I hope you're well. I don't know, I think it's the middle of the night where you are, so you're doing really well, so thank you to stay awake and watch. And hi Nick, thank you for joining. Today we've got a special show. We've got Amanda Cooksey joining us from the US, and she's going to have a chat about her new single, and she might tell us a little bit about her other music as well. 1 a.m. Craig, wow. I don't know how you're doing it. Hi Anna and hi Brian. Thank you for joining. We might welcome Amanda into the room. Hi.
How are you? Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Anytime. So it's Friday night where you are, so you're probably exhausted from a busy week.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm actually in Florida right now with my family, so it's been good. A little relaxing, a little bit, doing some work and stuff here and there, but
Yes.
It's been good.
Great. You've got loads of people tuning in to say hi. I didn't get a chance to tell you before, but you can actually see the comments, and I'll try and get as many of them around to as many of them as I can, but they go so fast, so we might not get everybody. But Brian has joined from the US. Craig is here.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, true. It was a lot later when we did Hallie's as well. Craig said, hi, Jennifer has popped in. Is also here. There's lots of people popping in. So if anyone has any questions, let us know, and we'll try and get to as many as we can. But Amanda, we haven't had you on the show before, and people in Australia are still probably starting to listen to your music and sort of learn about you. Can you tell us a little bit about you and why you went into music?
Oh gosh, man, I started singing when I was in middle school, and I was singing a little bit before that, but I was really shy growing up, so it was really hard for me to sing in front of anyone. And it wasn't until my 8th grade talent show that I really felt comfortable to go on stage, and it was only because of my piano and vocal instructor at the time who encouraged me to do it. And I did. I was so nervous, probably the most nervous I've ever been in my life, but it went over really well, and people told me that I should continue to pursue music. And so I decided to keep performing at different shows around Florida. And eventually my piano and vocal instructor, Ron Feldman, was like, hey, you should move to Nashville. There's a big scene there. You're doing country music. It only makes sense. And I looked into a school called Belmont University that's in Nashville, and fell in love with the school and decided that I wanted to make the move after being accepted, and started my journey in Nashville. And it's been 6 years now, which is pretty crazy.
I was looking at that. 6 years. It's hard to believe that you've been singing for so long with all your releases.
Yeah, it's hard to believe still, but I love it. I love the songwriting process the most, I think. But yeah, it's been quite a bit of time.
Did you find that move hard when you made that move? Was it a big deal to move to another city?
Yeah, I mean, at first it was kind of nerve-wracking, but when I got there, I was so excited that I kind of forgot that I was nervous about it. My family was all, they were super sad when I left, and I was sad I didn't go. But as soon as I got there, it was just like I was in a new world, so it was a little easier to make the transition. But it's actually gotten harder, believe it or not, over the years, being separated from them, and homesick once in a while. But it's where I need to be to pursue music.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you know anybody there when you moved?
Not really. No, I don't think I knew anybody. I had met a couple people at the orientation for school, but that was about it. So really, I went in not knowing a single soul.
It was a very brave move, and I think everybody's glad that you did, because your music is wonderful.
Oh, thank you so much.
I know you've just released your single, What's His Name? How has that been going? That was in September. How has that been going for you?
Oh my gosh, it's been amazing. First of all, I just want to thank all the fans that are listening for streaming the song, because it really means the world to me. I couldn't do any of this without you guys. And I've just been busy. I made a lyric video for the song, and I've never made a lyric video in my life. And so that was like during quarantine, that was my little project. And literally spent like a couple months doing that and drawing everything by hand, and made a mini music video for the song too. And I've just been watching it get added to a bunch of different playlists on Spotify, which is really cool. And it was just added to Radio Disney Country as well. So I'm super excited about that.
It's very exciting. And I was watching the film clip, and it actually looked like it was a lot of fun to make. It looked like you really enjoyed it.
Yeah, the music video was super fun. I just wanted to showcase my personality and let people see like who Amanda is, and just do something fun. So that was kind of the goal for me.
Have you got plans for more releases this year?
I do. I'm still working on a couple of things for the next one, so I don't want to give it away as yet, but I do have one that's in the works, and I have like a bunch ready and that I want to get out there for next year as well. So
does that mean an album might be on the way at some point?
Possibly. I don't want to say too much because I want to surprise people, but I do have a lot that I've been working on. So
that's very exciting. Have you found COVID hard with music, or have you made the use of the time trying to knuckle down and write? And
in the beginning, it was super difficult for me, and I'm one of those people, even though I'm a little more introverted, I like to be around people. Yeah. And so it was really hard for me. I kind of, I was a little bit anxious during the whole thing. And luckily, as I started to think about it more, I was like, okay, I can get things done still, and I can still do live shows, and I can still work on music on the side. So I was doing a bunch of that during quarantine, but I kind of let myself just take a break for a little bit and just kind of breathe and relax, which I think is really good for me in the long run. But I've been just as busy as ever, honestly, working on, things for my music, whether it's, getting photos done or working on the music video or getting ready for the next release. So it's really been beneficial in some ways, but nobody wants
to bit of rest time. Craig has actually popped in and asked a question. He said, Amanda, is What's His Name your most successful single so far?
Oh gosh, I mean, I call it a huge success. I think so far All the Right Things was one of my biggest ones, but I think What's His Name in terms of playlist ads, this is one of like the biggest releases I've had so far. So we'll see how it continues to progress in like a few weeks. So, you never know what'll happen.
Yes, you never know. And that's definitely one of the things in this industry. You just don't know. You can never pick what's going to happen and where you're going to be in a week's time. You just don't know.
Exactly.
Have you got any shows that are booked at the moment? I'm not sure what it's like over there with performances and things. I know some states in Australia people are starting to get back into music, and others are still in lockdown.
Right. Well, right now I'm kind of taking a break from performing just for a little bit until things kind of clear up. And I have been asked to do a couple of writers rounds here and there, but I'm not sure. I don't have anything booked at the moment, but I'm looking into a couple things. And as long as it seems like a safe situation, then I'm going to go ahead and book a show, because it's been so long. I don't even remember the last show I played, unfortunately. But, luckily we have Facebook Live and Instagram Live. Where you can still connect with fans and everything. So hopefully we'll be doing more of those over the next few months. So
I think that the good thing about doing the Facebook Lives is the fans that you can't get to and go when you're traveling. Some of them aren't in places that you can go, so they get to connect with you and learn you and your music while you're doing that. So I think in terms of that for music, I think COVID has been good.
Right.
It's helped people. Yeah. I've got another. I can't read all of that. I'll try and put on screen. How many Panera meals have you had to celebrate your success?
Oh man, I have probably had a ton of Panera meals. I don't even know. I couldn't even count, honestly. But I've definitely had a couple of those cookies in the weeks. I'll say that, Craig. So.
And Craig said he doesn't know a person as busy as you.
Oh my God. Being an artist, it's a super busy lifestyle to have. You're constantly working on different projects and sometimes it's hard to stay organized with the amount of workload it can be, but it's all worth it in the end, to put out a finished product. I like What's His Name. So
yes. Now, with What's His Name, how long did it take you to write it, and was it something that you struggled with to start with?
So it didn't take that long, I don't think, to write it. We did go back after we finished writing it to tweak some things, but we really didn't have much to tweak. But it took probably like 2-3 hours to write, and then we recorded it the same day that we wrote it. So it was all pretty much done. And this was a year ago, believe it or not. So I've had this one done for quite a bit of time, and I've just been, writing other songs in the process and just finding out which ones I want to release and which ones, maybe I'll wait on to release. But it was a really fun day for us. I was going through a breakup at the time, and that was pretty unfortunate, but we got a really good song out of it, and having some of my closest friends and co-writers there for me was amazing, and we just had a great time. So
yeah, that is fantastic. So as you said, you recorded it a year ago. How do you have a process as to how you figure out when you're going to release things and in what order? Obviously, sitting on a song, I think that would be really hard, knowing that it's recorded.
Believe me, it was so hard then, just knowing that I had this song and I wanted to release it. And there's other songs that you have in your catalog that you're like, wow, this could be a cool song. But then you write something even better and you're like, oh no, well, do I release that or do I release the new one? But there's not really, I don't think for me, there's been like a strategy behind when I'm going to release things. I just kind of know when a song feels right, that it's something like I want to consider. And with the next few songs that I'm releasing, they all kind of related to this relationship, and I wanted it all to be kind of a cohesive package of emotions and stuff. So it kind of just made sense at the beginning of quarantine. I kind of knew what I wanted to do with everything.
Yeah, things just fell in place. Yeah. Have you performed this song? Will you perform? You wrote it a year ago before COVID when you were performing. Is this a song that you had in your set list and people had heard?
Yeah, it is. I'd actually been playing it probably right after I wrote it. I probably jumped on Facebook Live and started playing it, and I was playing it around town, and people always loved the song, and I got good response from it. So I was like, well, this makes sense as my next release. If people are loving it, you kind of go off what everybody's telling you and the feedback that you get. So
that is exciting, very exciting. I've got another thing here. Michelle said, after another successful single, where do you feel you'll be in 5 years?
Oh my gosh. I think, it's hard to tell because you just never know with music, but I would like to think that in a few years, I'm hopefully will be doing more touring as far as getting to travel all across the US and overseas, hopefully. Yeah. And opening for some of my favorite acts is the goal. I really love Walker Hayes on the country side and Breland, and on the pop side, I love Julia Michaels. So touring with those acts would be, a big win for me, and just releasing more music that people can relate to and hopefully connect to. So that's where I'd hope to be.
Well, look, 5 years time, we'll do another one of these, and we'll measure up where we've gone.
Yes. Hopefully only good things from here.
Oh, absolutely. I think you will. I think, I've actually, your song is brilliant. So I think radio, I just love it. So tell us a little bit about, do you think you'll stay in the country genre, or is it just when you write, you just write what you want to write and where it falls is?
I've always been influenced by so many different styles of music. Yeah. It can be a little confusing when I'm writing sometimes because some of my melodies aren't always country melodies. They're pop melodies or they're R&B melodies, and I don't really like to put my music in a box. I kind of just write what feels good to me and I just like to tell my story, and however that comes across is like the way I'm going to take my music, and whoever accepts it, and I kind of just do my own thing. So I've been having fun though.
It looks fun. I've been watching your videos, and they just look like you do it and you enjoy it. And how perfect is that, doing what you love?
No, and I've never felt more me in my entire life. Like with the music I've been releasing lately, it just feels like it's me in a package of a song. And I think that's one of my favorite parts about it, really.
Absolutely. That's so exciting. And people relate to that more, don't they? When they know that they can feel that it's something that you know and you believe and you feel. And I think one thing that people getting to watch you put yourself into the music and put it out there, they start to realize that artists are just like them and the feelings, and that's why I think they relate to music a lot more.
Yeah, no, I agree completely.
Cara has popped in and she said, "Hey, kids want to say hi."
Hi. Tell them I said hello.
Oh dear. So between studying and music, what do you do to relax and get out of the work phase?
Well, I feel like I'm always working, so it's hard. But when I do get to relax, I'm just a big Netflix person. I love movies and TV, and I'm sure a lot of people on here know because I'm pretty vocal about some of my favorite movies and shows and stuff. But I love horror movies. Like I'm a big horror movie buff, and I love the show The Office. So that's always on in the background pretty much when I'm working, or I don't know, different shows. I love Outer Banks too. It's like a new show on Netflix. So I'm honestly, that's just my way of relaxing at the end of the day, is turning on a show for a couple hours and just enjoying, just delving into a new world. So
I don't get to watch a lot of TV, but you've just given me a few ideas, so that's great because I'm always looking for series.
Oh my gosh, you should totally watch Outer Banks, and there's so many others.
Oh, very exciting. It's always great when we hear different Netflix things, because I think you guys get different shows to us sometimes. Here in Australia, I think we're a little bit different, but
I'm curious to know what shows you guys have.
I think we get what you have, but I think we're a little bit slower. I think so. We get them a bit down the track, whereas you guys are fairly early on after they've been recorded, after they've been filmed and things.
Australia. I've never been to Australia. It's like
when I was about to ask you
that. I've never been, but I just always wanted to go there, and kangaroos are my favorite animal. And I know that sounds so crazy because people they're probably like, oh, another kangaroo, but I don't know. It's a dream to see one in the wild.
Well, we don't have. I'm in Tasmania, which is very, very remote compared to a lot of Australia. We don't have the really big kangaroos down here. We have a few what we call foresters, and we've got the greys, but we don't have the really big ones like they do on the mainland. And it's pretty. But we do have the Tassie devils. We have a few of those.
Man, so much wildlife, which I think is cool. So.
Yes, there is a lot of wildlife, snakes, pigs, all sorts of things. You'll never sure of that.
Yeah, I mean, Florida has a lot of wildlife here too, but I'm sure not as crazy as Australia.
I think we don't notice it. We're just so lucky. We're spoiled, and we don't realize until we leave the country. We don't realize how common it is for us and how lucky. Have you heard of any of our festivals, like the Tamworth Country Music Festival, or any of those sorts of?
I think I'm familiar with a few, but not much. Like I said, I've never been to Australia. But it's definitely somewhere I would love to come and eventually play shows. Like that would be.
I hope after this, people start. Our shows are probably very similar to yours. If people start requesting artists and asking for songs on radio and getting people to the promoters saying what they want in their shows. So after this, hopefully people will start requesting you, and when our borders open, you can get down here.
Yeah, I would be so down for that. That's a good excuse to come to Australia any day.
Now, I know you've opened up for a lot of artists in your career. Troy has put, we have the famous kangaroo called Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. That's true.
Oh my gosh.
That was a TV show that used to be on, and it was a long time ago, but I don't know whether you can find that, but that's worth watching. It was a great show, lots of fun, very family. It was a kangaroo that they had as a pet, and they used to talk to it and all sorts of things. It was a great show.
I know. They have one at the or like a bunch of kangaroos at the Nashville Zoo, and I've gotten a picture with one before, and that was pretty exciting for me.
It didn't attack you. So you
No,
were
I mean, you always hear about those horror stories with kangaroos, but I like the little baby ones. I think they're cute.
yes. I don't know what yours is like, but over here, some of the zoos have little enclosures, well, quite big enclosures, and you can just go in and take some food, and they'll eat it out of your hand and, and that sort of stuff.
That would be
Really cool. And we have, different things, but I don't mind doing that. But it's the snakes that I won't go near, not even.
Yeah, no, thank you. I can deal with that.
Very much, but I'm done with that. My auntie was having a photo with one a few years ago, and I was there, and it bit the man that put it around her neck. It attacked him, and I was never again.
No, yeah, no, I'd be done after that.
I was out. I'm like, I don't need the photo. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Nope, I'm good.
Craig has said that Neighbours is their best Aussie show. Oh my goodness. I haven't seen that show in years.
Oh my gosh. I
don't know that one. Oh, so with touring and all the artists that you've opened up for, is there any that, are really the standout ones that were just, ticking off that list? Any memories stand out?
I mean, all of them were amazing. I mean, just the fact that you get to open for some of the coolest like country artists is, I don't know, it's an honor to me. So I really couldn't pick one that's. I mean, I really had fun at the VIP Sounds of Summers tour. That was worth all the big artists, but I couldn't pick just one.
No, just one. Just all of them were amazing.
Yeah.
Well, tell us, your single before this one was Yo Mama. How did that one go for you?
Oh my gosh, I still love that song so much, and that was kind of the first taste of the new Amanda sound that I've been putting out. After now with What's His Name, it's kind of really developed, but I just one day decided to write this song called Yo Mama, and I wrote it by myself, and it was just supposed to be something fun. It was about a bad date that I went on in Nashville, and decided to release it, and we made a really fun music video for it. Some of my close friends are in it, and we just had the best time filming it. And I don't know, it's a really special song to me just because it's like the first one that felt like the most me thing I've ever put out as an artist. So I don't know. I still love that song so much.
I think that's my favorite. I think that one's my favorite when I was going through
it. That one was also fortunate to be picked up by Radio Disney. So it was super exciting for me. That was my first one. So
how exciting. Tell us, have you got any merchandise or anything that people can order?
That's something that I've been looking into again, because I did have a bunch of merch that I was selling for some of my older songs, but I kind of want to update everything. But I do, if you go on my website, I do give out CDs from some of my past songs, and also I can do signed photos and all of that fun stuff. So, but I will be working on more merch. I'm hoping to do some t-shirts. So.
Oh, how exciting. So where's the best place for people to keep an eye on what you're doing and where you'll be? What's the best platform?
Well, I'm pretty much on everything, as most artists are these days, but I think Instagram is the place that I'm on the most. It's Amanda A. Cooksey. I'm also on Twitter at A. Cooksey Music, and then Facebook it's just Amanda Cooksey Music. So.
Well, when you've finished, if you haven't already, jump over there and give those a follow and a like so that you can keep up to date. Do you have a fan club, a little fan club or anything that people can join?
I think my Facebook page is like the closest thing to that. So definitely Amanda Cooksey Music, and I'm always checking my messages on there and checking my messages on Instagram. So never
stops.
No, it never does. And I'm also on TikTok now. So you guys
wow.
Check me out on TikTok.
I have not got that. I'm finding Instagram hard, so I think that TikTok.
I know there's so many different platforms, and it's crazy, but
it's crazy. I just think it would be so much better if we could just have one. We didn't know what.
I totally agree.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. When you've got your next Facebook Live anything scheduled coming ahead with that?
I'm hoping to do one probably in the next couple of weeks here. Nothing planned as of yet, but I do have a lot of interviews and things coming up that I'm going to be posting about. So stay tuned for those. But thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Anytime. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. And those of you that are up late, like Craig, at 1 a.m., go to bed.
Thank you for staying up.
And for the rest of you, I hope you enjoy your Friday night and Saturday morning if you're here in Australia. And I will see you again. I think we might be back for the show Monday at this stage. We're going to try and get Johnny K to, if his internet is up and running, I'm not sure where he'll be, but that's the plan, Monday night at about 6:30. So we'll see you all then. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, guys.